The Roswell Incident, when the desert kept its secrets. Roswell, NM. On a scorching July morning in 1947, rancher Mac Brazel discovered debris scattered across his property in the high desert outside Roswell. What he found would ignite nearly 8 decades of speculation, government denials, and conspiracy theories that continue to shape popular culture today. The official story has changed multiple times over the years. Initially, the Roswell Army Air Field issued a press release stating they had recovered a flying disc. Hours later, the military reversed course, claiming the debris was merely a weather balloon. Decades later, the Air Force would offer yet another explanation: a classified Project Mogul surveillance balloon designed to detect Soviet nuclear tests. But true believers aren't buying it. Conspiracy theorists contend the military recovered not just debris, but an intact extraterrestrial spacecraft and the bodies of its alien crew. They point to witness testimony from military personnel, locals, and even morticians, who claim to have been contacted about child-sized coffins. The incident occurred during a time of heightened tension and secrecy. World War II had ended just 2 years earlier, and the Cold War was beginning. The same airfield that allegedly recovered alien technology was home to the 509th Bomb Group, the only atomic bomber squadron in the world at that time. Jesse Marcel, an intelligence officer who first examined the debris, later stated in interviews that the material he handled was nothing made on this earth. He described metal that couldn't be dented or burned, and material that would return to its original shape after being crumpled. The military's handling of the incident raised suspicions. Witnesses reported being threatened into silence. Physical evidence disappeared. The crash site was cordoned off and quickly sanitized. In 1978, physicist and UFO researcher Stanton Friedman interviewed Marcel, reigniting public interest in the case. This led to numerous books, documentaries, and investigations that uncovered dozens of witnesses who supported the extraterrestrial hypothesis. Glenn Dennis, a mortician at Ballard Funeral Home, claimed a military officer contacted him asking about small hermetically sealed caskets and preservation techniques for bodies exposed to the elements. Days later, Dennis alleged he spoke with a nurse at the base hospital who described examining non-human bodies with large heads and unusual anatomical features. Skeptics argue the incident can be explained by the confluence of Cold War paranoia, misidentified military projects, and the power of suggestion. They note that the Air Force has released multiple reports attempting to close the book on Roswell. But timing problems undermine the dummy theory. The anthropomorphic dummies weren't used until 1953, 6 years after the Roswell incident. The town of Roswell has embraced its alien heritage. The International UFO Museum and Research Center attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors annually. Street lamps are shaped like alien heads. The local McDonald's is built to resemble a flying saucer. What makes Roswell endure is not just the physical evidence, or lack thereof, but what it represents. In the immediate post-war era, Americans confronted nuclear weapons, jet aircraft, and the terrifying possibility that humanity might not be alone in the universe. The incident spawned an entire genre of conspiracy theory, centered on government cover-ups of alien contact. It introduced concepts like flying saucer, Area 51, and Men in Black into the popular lexicon. Recent developments have added new dimensions to the debate. In 2020, the Pentagon confirmed the existence of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, and released several videos of encounters between military pilots and unexplained craft. While this doesn't validate Roswell specifically, it has lent credibility to the idea that unknown aerial objects operate in Earth's skies. For believers, Roswell remains the moment when humanity made first contact with extraterrestrial intelligence, and when the government decided the public couldn't handle the truth. For skeptics, it's a case study in how mundane events can be transformed into modern mythology through a combination of government secrecy, witness unreliability, and cultural anxieties. The truth, whatever it may be, remains buried somewhere in the New Mexico desert, or locked in classified files that may never see daylight. 77 years later, Roswell continues to ask uncomfortable questions about government transparency, scientific possibility, and humanity's place in the cosmos. And that may be the real reason the story refuses to die.